Hey guys, M12 LRV VSB Gaming here, back with another Payday 2 video. I'm playing some rats, and I'm having a little bit of lag, can't make that jump. But what we're gonna do is I'm playing rats. There are two people in the game, but not in the party. I don't know who they are. Like, I'm not friends with them. Like, I'll record with other friends on the game, but they were nice enough to join my lobby and help me. And now we're just going to have to set up traps. Now, I'm going to do somewhat of a walkthrough with this from a technician's perspective. Maybe better ways to do it if you're playing, if you are like a technician. Not technician, but other people, such as Enforcers, Ghost, or Mastermind, but this is the way that I like to do it as a technician. I hope it helps. You don't necessarily have to do it exactly like me, but this is one way of getting the rats mission done. Now, one, you can stay here, get extra money, and maybe some extra XP from doing this, but it's much faster if you decide to blow the lab up. Now, for me, I honestly don't give two craps which way we go. I'm gonna actually let the people who can't hear me, because I'm in a party, determine that. When they tell them to put in an ingredient, they will either blow up the lab, or they will do something that results in their own or maybe they're waiting for me. And I'm being tased. But they did decide to blow up the lab. Okay, that guy had Inspire. I was getting tased, and that's not cool. I don't want to lose him. So I'm going to go save him. But now I have, like, no armor, so I have to run. Like there's no tomorrow. Now I think about it, I probably should have had lighter armor so I could run faster. Although it wouldn't have helped because I still got tased, and that just pretty much prevents you from moving. I also hate it because one time in an escape I did yesterday, I wasn't recording it. Although I did do a video yesterday for Payday 2, which should be up by now. That well, at the time that I'm recording it, because I actually set it to like 5 minutes before I recorded. But like I load my gun full clip of shotgun ammo, and I start shooting people with my secondary shotgun, the locomotive. Well, I aim down the sight like I'm about to. Get stunned by taser. My teammate takes out after it makes me unload my whole clip of shotgun ammo. Then, after that, I load my gun again, full clip, and then I get tased again. I literally lose like almost all my ammo for it. It's annoying, but luckily someone brought an ammo bag. Now for this one, as you can see what I did here, sometimes someone will spawn in down. That person is me. So I pretty much have half health from the get-go. That's annoying because really, like, I didn't lose all my health or anything. But I see how they can simulate that someone got hurt in a car crashed area. Now for me, it doesn't matter whether or not if we're leaving by chopper or van. This place is a defendable area. Even when you're on the offensive, finding a defendable area is sometimes a good thing on the battlefield. In certain situations. Some of these strategies I'm going through is mainly about stuff that I've learned in like military history class in the strategies and applied them to this game. Now, 1. Shields are going to want to have their shields facing that way because someone's going to be shooting at them from the stairway. So I'm going to be setting up a turret here. My first turret is always called Sentry Sam, because I think they deserve cool names. And I could set up another one here, but we don't quite need that. Now, if you don't have sentry turrets, but you do have trip mines, you can put them all throughout the stairwell down there, but put at least one sensor mine here. So if you hear a beeping, you know someone got through all of your things, and that someone's bad guy is right behind you. Well, technically we're the bad guys, but the people who are going to interfere with our plans are right behind us. Is what you should do. Now the only problem with the turret is that, as you can probably see, it's firing out a shield. It's taking no damage. Now you can sort of like stun the shields for a second or kill them if you get behind them. Or if you are skilled enough, you can try and shoot the grenade midair once it passes the shield. That is a possibility. However, if you do that, it is very hard and it's like a trick shot. If you have a gun that has decent stability like my UAR does, because of all my perks, like I have more stability is like a tier unlock bonus for Technician, and certain mods that I've attached to it. I'll actually go over the preferred secondary weapons that I use, plus this one, which is like my weapon that's decent in all areas. Now, if you prefer single fire or auto fire, is really just a preference, but auto fire, like, the one increased my damage a little bit, but permanently made it so that I cannot switch it from auto fire to single fire. But, yeah. This is one of the few escapes that you can run into. Now, if you're doing the garage escape, it's pretty much several floors up. The van's already there. You just have to get there within the time limit. Like most things, most escapes, when the escape van arrives, it's like, yeah, we really have to get going. Otherwise, we won't be able to get out of here safely. You have this long to do it. Now you can. Most people have told me, is it possible to get like the 8 bags on the garage escape and whatnot? And well, to answer that question, because one of my friends did that. I like making videos about this. Where is it? I actually have the achievement for it. So it is possible. I don't know why I don't know why they would make an achievement if it's not possible to get, but it's possible. Now for day 2. I'm bringing trip mines as my equipment, because I have the ability to place them down as shape charges and blow open a safe or two. Now, big safes and the tall safes require 4 shape charges, while the small ones require only 1. Metal doors that can be picked or sawed require one shape charge or C4, or whatever you prefer to call it. Well, the other one, the security doors that require a saw or a drill to get through require much more. Require about 3, I think. And they're actually quite useful in a nightclub, if you ask me. If you have, like, 2 people that have, if you have, like, 2 people who have shape charges, I guess, one person could blow open 2 doors, and then the other person could blow up a safe and have 2 C4 left over. Okay, this is the right... Okay, now, no. If you're watching this, the safe with the information is not always in this apartment. And I did not know what I was doing the first time I actually did day 2 of this. But that was like when I was a level 20. And I'm gonna be honest, I literally had no freaking idea what happened. But as like with most games, you learn how things go, how you're supposed to do things as you play it more often. It could be in one of, like, 3 or 4 different apartments, because one building has 2 apartments, the other one has 1. But the middle building, which is pretty much to the front, if you follow the path right up to where the truck is, where you're supposed to drop off the meth if you make the trade, on the other side of the building is the middle building, and then there's one to the right. The one to the right in the middle, you can get to each other through the apartments by a board. Now, if you're in one of those two, walk on the board, walk to your right, jump, you'll land on some scaffolding, like literally like 5 feet below you. And then from there you can drop down and you'll take fall damage from the drop down from the scaffolding to the ground, but not from the boards that allow you to cross in between both windows. To it, because unless you have like Cat Burglar, which reduces your fall damage, or if you have an ace, then you only take armor damage and all that stuff. Which I think Cat Burglar is reduces fall damage from non-fatal heights by 75%. I'm not 100% sure about that, but this is the final day. So I'm gonna quickly go in here, and I'm gonna go quickly get in. We did get the information, so if these guys do want to loot the whole bus, they can, because we do have the thing. Now for deactivating the C4, not really a typical job that you would do as a technician. It seems like something that you can do, but first, before anyone does that, normally what I do is cops come in, and I put down one turret here. That's what I do. Now, my turrets will usually last longer, because before I went Infamous, I had the whole thing. And we wait until we get all bags over here, which is where normally the truck goes. Now, I'm actually going to get to cover or closer to my friends so that they can help me. Now, what happens is the second you pick up the money, you have to disable the C4 that's in there if there is any. If you do not get the information day 2, then you cannot get any of the bags without having the bus blowing off. Well, there may be 1 or 2 bags that don't have C4, but if you pick up a bag and it has C4, you have to get rid of it. So probably the best thing for you guys to do is pick the 4 closest suitcases that are close to the exits of the bus. Pick up all of them at once, and then get out of the bus as soon as possible. Just like scatter and get the crap out of there. Now, the cloaker took out both of us. Now, one of the main things you should do is always check in the area, is there cloakers, before you help someone up. Now, what he did was not wrong, because, you think that people do take, because if you think about it, people sometimes can, kill a cloaker and then another one spawns, like, comes out of the sewer, or the manhole, like, on certain levels. And that's perfectly normal, and you shouldn't have to worry about that much, because it doesn't happen to me that often. Maybe it does to you. Now you can throw bags while you're down. I just want to show you that as well. And I noticed that cops do not shoot. Oh. Cops do not, like, shoot you and whatnot. Okay, I got the turret providing cover fire. And that's bad. Now, cops, like, don't tend to shoot you while you're down unless you start firing first. I don't know why, but, it does do that. Now, I think I was down several times. I think some to cloakers and some to not, but as you can see, I'm gray. Which means one more down and I'll go into custody. Now now, unless you have 9 lives, you can only go down 3 times before going into custody. Note, this is not subject to... This is not subject to, the cloaker downs, because those do not count. Now, yes, we did fail this mission, but, you're at more of a risk of failing the mission if you take the dilly-dally and take the time to offload all of them, or maybe people didn't know what they were doing, or maybe it was the lack of communication, but I tried inviting some of these people to a party. But it's whatever. If you do have communication, you're actually better off, but don't worry about that part. Most times when I do it with randoms, are usually able to get to do it. Although I'm not gonna point out certain names, and nor these people in the party in my lobby, but some of these people will be rude and like kick you out on the last day just to get more money for payday and whatnot. Because people are like, yeah, we're only doing this to get more money in our offshore to go infamous, and then they kick people and then they think that's going to increase their offshore payout. It really only affects their payday. Because payday is contract pay minus cleaner cost plus total value of loot divided by number of players. So you divide the value of the loot by the number of players in there. So if you got $100,000 worth of loot, and you have 4 players, each person will get 25 extra. Or at least that's how I see it. Then you get 25,000. Then if you killed no civilians and say like contract pay was 200,000, well then you got yourself that. Now, I'm going to show you my weapons as I mentioned earlier. I have the long barrel for my UAR. I have the fire breather. I usually like to have one weapon for that silence for stealth, unless I know it's a mission that's not meant for stealthing, like Mall Crasher, or like Watch Dogs, where the cops, where you're supposed to be protecting stuff because you know cops are gonna come after you and whatnot. Then I'll use my second locomotive. I have 2 now. One that has this silent killer, but that takes off a lot of damage, and then I have the Dragon Teeth, which increases its damage. Now, auto fire and single fire prevent you, if you get any one of these mods, prevent you from toggling it, which sometimes you accidentally do, if you want this, but as you can see, it increases damage, but minuses accuracy, but it gives you +5 stability. The one selected will minus stability by 6, but increase damage by 2. Increase accuracy by 2, but not affect your damage in any way. But I guess if you're equipping this, it would actually make you lose damage, because the one that I currently have equipped gives me 2 damage. Now I got the A3 Tactical on there, which increases damage, but the main reason I did it is stability. This gun, if you use the right mods, can give you a lot of stability, and it's very helpful for me and the way that I play this. Now the gadget I have is an assault light. No matter what mission I do, I will always have at least one gun with an assault light so I can help see. That is a personal preference. It may lower my concealment by 1, but you can turn it on and off, and it makes you more detectable because you'll see the light in certain missions. Now, for the sight, I use holographic sight. You probably saw that. And that's that weapon. My secondaries that I prefer are the Deagle, which pretty much is a heavy gun, like heavy pistol. And I have a tactical pistol light. I have the standard issue suppressor. I have the bling grip. Which gives me +6 stability, +1 concealment. Swing gives me +2 accuracy, but -3 stability. -1 concealment. So I prefer that. Extended mag. Now, with extended... Now, ammo is based on... Max ammo is based on number of rounds, not number of mags that you can carry. Unlike certain games, it's like... The max ammo is, I think for this, is not that high. But that's what you're allowed to carry. Now, having extended mag just means... when you load in, your gun will be fully loaded, so it only allows your overall amount of ammo that you can start the mission with is increased by a few. Increased by 6 for mag. But it doesn't increase your maximum ammo by 6 for every mag that you would have had. Now I have marksman sight on this. And I have the long barrel slide. Now long barrels in this game tend to mean if you use the sight or some sort of a scope on your gun when you zoom in and aim, it tends to be more accurate, but long barrel guns tend to be less accurate at hip fire. But if you use an assault rifle, it's like the perfect medium, like you don't have to always use the sight for it, but I sort of try to do that as much as possible. Now, the Stark 18C pistol, which is one that I also recommend, as this one, pretty much I have standard issue suppressor, pistol light, have ergo grip because that's the only one available. Extended mag is probably the best thing you can have for this. Actually, that would be the second best. Now that I think about it, stock would be good because it gives you a lot of stability. And overall, this thing doesn't have... its base stability isn't that good at 15. I mean, it is a little bit better because I have skill and mods, as you can see. But the best thing about this is that it's a machine pistol. It has 140 ammo. Its total damage is actually less because of the suppressor that I put on there than what space damage is. It's 16, but this thing is rapid fire. So if you prefer rapid fire guns, but you want one in pistol form, this is the one you want. Now the locomotive, it's a decent gun. It fires shotgun shells, and most people think when you start out with pistol and a rifle to start out with when you first play the game, that's what you should do, is try and keep that setup. That's good for a while, but the second you get to level 13, get a locomotive, because it is very good. If you don't... But it's not so much good if you put a suppressor on it. It does reduce damage. But if I were to equip this, its base damage is 65, it loses 17 damage just on a suppressor alone. But the one I have here, it does 75 because it has Dragon's Teeth. Now you can lower the damage with the suppressor if you want to have it suppressed. But one that has this, I don't have all the mods that I want for this, so I'm temporarily using other ones until it's done. But for the shotgun, I definitely want mods like this, like the Dragon's Teeth. It's definitely a mod you want if you're going to be doing brute force missions where you don't plan on going quietly like a bank where you could, like, oh, we could stealth this. But if it's like something where you're supposed to wreck stuff, or going in loud, or you're going to be attacked a lot like on Watch Dogs and or Mall Crasher, then you want something like this. Matter of fact, I think I've used the shotgun pretty much for most of Mall Crasher once, and it's like actually quite decent. But that was using this one. I recently just bought this one. Now for this one, the mods that I don't have is that, well, actually I got an extended mag on this one, but this is my second one. My other one does not have that. I got holographic sight. I don't have. My other one has a surgeon sight. Stock, I want police W because it gives you a lot of stability. And this one, not that much. This may give me 2 less concealment, but it's made up for by giving it a lot of stability, and I really want one of these. And then this just increases magazine size by 2, and it also looks sort of cool on screen when you're gunning down guys. But, anyway, guys, I'm going to end this, video off here. If you guys enjoyed watching, leaving any comments, questions, or feedback in the comment section down below would be highly appreciated. And I will see you guys later in another video. Bye-bye!